Hey guys, and welcome to another live stream. I hope you guys are doing good this weekend on Saturday. Yes, no, not the original intro, but really this isn't a really like live chat awkward kind of thing. It's basically just getting together and just doing a Q&A and just talk about stuff because I've been lazy lately because, well, just been one of those weeks where you're just trying to catch up on everything and just trying to finish the week of work and just forgetting about it for a couple of days. Well, maybe for a couple of days. I might have to go into work tomorrow and finish some stuff up. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing good. Shout out to Tampa Tom and Patricia and Damien. I saw them here earlier. So I hope you guys are doing good. But anyways, before we go on, just a quick couple announcement. Basically, well, not announcements, but just going over some stuff. Like I had some ideas of local meets. I noticed a lot of viewers are actually from my local area, which is Southern California right now. And I've been toying with the idea of getting together a meet maybe once every 2 months or something. And just because I find that lacking. So the whole trick is to find a place to do it at and trying to get people to come. So that's the one thing I'm working on and I'm trying to figure out how to do because that's a pain in the butt to do. But anyways, the other thing is a lot of people ask me questions on the comments in the video. So if you're hitting this and you're wondering what it's about before you like move on, because all it is just mainly Q&A. So we do have a Facebook group, and if you have questions, especially some of the questions that takes a lot more detail to it, go join that Facebook group because I will probably most likely ask you just take a picture of your whole tank so I can see what's going on because it's really hard sometimes to just figure things out through the YouTube comments. It's not the best way to do things. So the Facebook group is where it's at right now, where I answer a lot more detailed questions, and my staff there too can answer, and the people there too can answer. So you're going to have a lot of people that can answer your questions or help you figure out if there's anything wrong, not just me. And they should know what they're talking about. I mean, most of them follow my videos and they just follow the same thinking in the way of what I present in the videos. So it's a good way to just keep in touch and find out what your problems are, as well as just discuss and help other people. So join our Facebook group. It is somewhere in the chat. Patricia, can you link it? Please. I have no clue where I put it. I don't have it on hand right now. But oh yeah, I do have it on. What am I talking about? Duh. There you go. Thanks, Patricia. So yeah, that's the link to the Facebook group. So if you haven't joined before or whatever, or if you're watching this after the stream's live, the link is down below in the video description. So click there, join up, and we can talk to you there if you have a more complicated matter that you need help with. The other thing I was talking about was a par. This is something I had in the back of my mind, thinking about how to do it. And then when I did one of my lighting videos about par, I think it was AC Aquatics said, "Oh, you should do get a par meter and do these like charts or whatever." And I had this idea of making this database on the Waterbox website where I keep all the par data and stuff like that. But I have to get a par meter, and not only that, I want to also measure the spectrum as well of lighting or a light fixture, and then you have to get the light fixtures to do it. And then not only just that light fixture, say a Phoenix Planet Plus, but I have to get, the 12-inch version, 24-inch version, 36 version, 46-inch version, because they're all different. Okay, the ratings will all be different based on the size and length of the actual fixture itself, based on how many, in LED speak, how many LED diodes are in that fixture. So it all does matter. It's one of those weird things. It's hard to measure because of stuff like that, and it's also easier. But it is easier to measure the T5 output bulbs, so that would be easier. But again, I have to figure out how to get that together and fund it. Someone said do a fan funding on it, and I have to figure out how to do that because not only do I have to get the meters, I will have to get the light fixtures, and it just becomes costly after a while. And then you have to figure out, well, if I had the I lost my train of thought. yeah. It's like I don't need all these lights, so maybe I had an idea of people who are you know submitting to this project, or or something like that to that effect, where they actually putting some money and it gets put in the drawing, whatever drawing it is. For example, it's like, hey, I just did the Fluval 2.0 36-inch fixture. We'll have a random drawing for that, and then people could sign up for that. That's put in to the project, and then I would send them that fixture after I'm done with it. Because I just like, if I did all these measurements of the fixture, and after I'm done with that, I don't know what to do with it. It's gonna be sitting around. Maybe I could save it later for a tank, which I may or may not do, which is kind of dumb. But usually when I set up a tank, I would get the stuff then. I don't usually plan that far ahead for tanks, so that might be one way to do it. But not everyone's going to be able to at the end come out with a fixture from the random drawing. But that's all the stuff that I've been thinking about doing on that front. But yeah, that's all. Actually, that's all I have written down for stuff that I want to talk about, or at least convey to you guys what I plan to do. The other thing is why I call this town meeting is because I want to get your opinions, guys. Like, what do you want to see in video? Like, what video that I haven't made that you guys couldn't find yet, or have found, but you want me to just reiterate on that topic? I'll post it. Let me know, like, what kind of video, what other videos you want to see. I got tons of videos that are listed, but again, those are my ideas, or what I think people need to see or want to see. But it's also always a good way to get your ideas and just convey it to me so that I could get that out to you guys in the format of a video. But anyways, back to the chat. D's in the house. Welcome, D. Love you. Good to see you here. Tampa Tom, I don't know if I gave you a shout out yet. I think I did. See, I forget things really, really quick. But Tampa Tom's asking, hey, Waterboss, can you tell me more about the Italian vowel? I just like, Well, vowels are usually vowels. Italian vowels I don't have much experience with, so I can't tell you much about it. I would just, when I would want to get a plant, or somehow had my hands and got my hands on that plant, I would look it up. But Italian vowel, like vowel necessary, they're all pretty much the same care. There's not much difference between the variations of the vowel that I know of. For Italian, though, I can't tell you specifically anything about it other than it's a vowel, and you just plant it; it should grow easily. But that's not always the case. So I don't know anything about the Italian vowel, so I would have to look it up before I get back to you on that one. Hey Flynn, how you doing? Good to see you in the chat. Hey, Past Dirt World, how you doing? Pardon people. Kudada? Did I say it right? Kudada? So you have a question. Would you consider Fluval Planet 2.0 highlight for 75? How tall is your 75? And how big length of, how long is the fixture that of the Fluval Planet 2.0 is it that you wish to get? Okay, let me know. We'll go over a little bit more about that, because I need to know the size of the fixtures you're going to get and how high your tank is, and I can tell you whether or not it will work good and what would work good with that lighting in your tank. So again, any ideas, any comments, suggestions on what I've talked about so far, and any other questions that you guys might have? It doesn't even have to be about aquarium. There can be any questions you guys want to ask. Just Q&A, talk about stuff. Any ideas, any other videos you would like to see? If there's like, oh hey, I would love to see Chung do a video on this. Just let me know. Car Galaxy Studios, welcome to the chat. How are you doing? Martin K, how are you doing? Again, yeah, it's not our regular chat. It's not like our regular live show that I do every Saturday. I don't have anything prepped for the trivia either. Like I said, I got lazy this week, so sorry about that, guys. So again, any questions, comments, post them down below, especially with the questions and topics I've already talked about here. But yeah, Cardata, just let me know how big, how long, how tall is your tank, and then how long is the light that you're planning to get for that tank? 75, I don't know if it's a normal 75. I think it's about 3 feet. It's 36-inch light fixture, maybe. What plants require CO2 and what don't? They all require CO2. Okay, Patricia, all plants do require CO2. But I guess you're asking which plants require CO2 more than others, I guess. Again, that is a loaded question, but that is something that I will cover in the CO2 series that I will have coming up. Just so we could just cover it now, it basically depends on the rest of your tank, on the rest of the setup of your tank. See, here's the thing: is I'm making all these things, these videos. Like right now, the lighting series, which is almost coming to an end. I think I have 2 or 3 videos left in that series before I just add random lighting videos to that series. But a lot of times is that if you have the other 2 factors and other stuff like really balanced out, sometimes you don't even need CO2. No, that's one of those things about talking about tank balance. More advanced topic about tank balance is that you see these more advanced like if you like here's the thing in the lighting videos if you've been following it is that we talk about parting and we talk about intensity of light and how plants need some intense light, like especially if we talk about something like HC. You go nice lush carpet, everyone's saying you need high intensity lighting to it. In most cases it does, but if you have everything else balanced out, you actually don't. The reason why I'm saying this is because if you ever go to, and this is proven, if you ever go to the ADA gallery up, I think it's in Japan or wherever it's at, I think it's in Japan. If you look at their setups, they have a display all these gorgeous Iwagumi type style tanks. And you look at it, a lot of it's using AC, a lot of carpeting, HC carpeting, whereas you Brits call it HC carpeting. And Tom Barr, which is one of those plant experts, known experts in our hobby, went up there and he took a par meter with him, okay, and he measured the par ratings. And the par ratings, if you watch the video, was somewhere around 28, 38, something like that. It was like low level medium lighting, like the lower part of the medium lighting spectrum. And then you're looking at that going, well, how in the world are they growing AC that gorgeous? Because it's gorgeous AC. There's nothing wrong. It's a nice lush carpet, but they're doing it at such a low par rating, right? And you're wondering, well, is everything that we're doing not correct? Everyone's saying, well, you need high light for AC. In a way, you do. What they do is they balance the tank with the other factors. All right, if they give it plenty of ferts that plants could just easily grow in, right? Because they have plenty of nutrition to pull from, and they got more than, and they're injecting CO2, and maybe when they start establish the tank, they actually push the lighting into it, like it was higher intensity. But once it's established, you rebalance everything so that instead of trying to get that growth right away. Because a lot of times when we use intense lighting, we're talking about growing plants really fast. Because we're impatient people. And any hobby, we're impatient. We're human beings, we're impatient. We want results right away, especially nowadays. A lot of times, the whole factor about using intense lighting is just to grow plants faster. Right? But if you're growing the plants that fast, why can't you just adjust the settings and balance your tank so that it doesn't grow those plants fast after that hour? Just grow at a regular pace. Instead of trying to grow an inch per day, you're just growing 2 or 3 millimeters a day, right? You just readjust the tank level or the balance level to just grow the plants that fast. So in other words, you balance everything out so that it's slower growth, but still healthy growth. Okay? So again, everything about needing CO2 isn't always the case. CO2 is really good though for the plants. It'll keep it healthy. Okay? The reason why some people don't need CO2 in a low-tech tank is because you're growing plants low-tech. It's growing really slow. So you don't need all that CO2 to push the growth of the plant. You just need to give it CO2 in order for it to grow healthy. And sometimes that means not even including CO2 because there's already CO2 in our water. Okay, there's already CO2 and O2 exchange happening in your tank. Okay, so again, those are way more advanced topics and way more advanced topics about how to balance your tank, which someday we will get to. not today. Okay, but to actually say, and this is the hard part, to actually say that all plants need CO2 injected in your tank, not always. Sometimes not at all. Okay, but it does help. Uh, that's the best way I can explain it right now, without getting into more, more stuff that's beyond the capability of this chat today. So, but yeah, the CO2 series will come soon. Right now, I'm just giving you all the information just so you guys can understand how to use it. Then later on, when after those 3 series are done, the lighting, CO2, and fertilization series, then we're going to put it really all together and then do a more advanced balancing tank video later. So it's all this, like, I have this whole thing laid out. It's going to take a while to get there. And I think that's one of the things too about me starting this channel, is that a lot of stuff is, I'm starting right at a lot of beginning level stuff, because I want to take the beginners and make them a lifelong follower kind of thing. That's my goal. Right? I want to get the newer people in, and then when more advanced topics come in, then I can start grabbing the more advanced people who are like, oh yeah, I like what you're saying. I totally follow what you say too. So I want to hang around and help you teach newer people. It's just trying to find the same, trying to find the group of like-minded thinking people, because there's just so much confliction in our hobby, is that you just got to find the right people, a group of people to get together, bring together, and just like kind of go down that path and teach it that way kind of thing. Because I can't say that not always everything that I put out will always work for everyone else. It's just one of those really touchy, tricky situations about all this stuff. So call data fixture is 48 inches, the same length as the tank. The tank is 21 inches. For 2.0 is actually, the Fluval 2.0's Fresh and Planet are actually really good. Only the one thing I can tell you straight off right now, for the 42.8 inch, for a 72 gallon at that dimensions, is that you might want to get 2 fixtures. Okay, and that will make it a really nice environment for highlight plants. Now, highlight, when you're talking highlight, how much are you talking about? What are you talking about? Are you trying to grow a huge carpet of HC or something like that? Something that we got to look at too. Let me see the stats on the Fluval. And I think they balance their stats all through the whole different size of fixtures. 1 second here. Let's see. Normally, where are their stats for this? Okay, you're looking at 120 degrees. You might get away with 1, but you know what? If you want to grow like really highlighted stuff, 2 might be good. And especially when you can adjust these lights. The Fluva 2.0, you can adjust the intensity. So having 2 lights will actually give you that really nice ability to adjust the tank without raising the light fixtures, or without the need to raise the light fixtures. Alright, so here we go. We're 18 inches. They only go as far as 18 inches. A3990. I'm trying to figure out. There it is. 40 inches. So we're looking at the 991. So you're going to get 66 par ratings at the substrate level at 18 inches. If you're going 21 inches, you're doing 1, 2, 3 more additional inches. So your par rating is going to be somewhere around 60, 62 based on their readings. This has nothing to do with whatever you have in your tank when that happens. So you're looking around medium light level, which should be able to grow a lot of things. Even HC, it might grow a little slow. But if you go something like HC on that tank at that par level, excuse me, you're going to get decent growth. Make sure you supply it with CO2 and all the other stuff. Start there, CO2, good fertilization regimen. I suggest getting 2 light fixtures because that's just going to give you a lot of control. Because that's what it's about, control a lot of times, and start there, and that will get you a good start with the highlighted 75 gallon tank. And that should allow you to grow pretty much anything. Okay, just remember that when you're talking about high light demanding plants, we have to talk about what type of plants you're going to plan to grow in that tank itself. But it's going to do good. Okay, I suggest, again, 2 light fixtures would do you really, really good. So, you want me to see kayak fish? I'm not really much of a kayaker. Maybe I'll get into it. I don't know. I'm not much of an outdoorsy guy either, though. I don't go outdoors to do things like, kayaking or river rafting stuff. Those years are way. I used to do a lot, but when I was younger. But I'm old now. I just want to stay home and binge on TV or something. You already posted your question on your my last video. I don't remember what that question is. You're gonna have to post it again. Amit Kumar, I wanted to know that does the depth of substrate affect plant growth? Well, yeah, you need enough depth for the roots to grow into. Nothing like thin. You can't put like, a 1/4 of an inch of soil and expect plants to grow. You're not gonna give enough room for roots, the plant roots. So make sure you get about at least an inch of the bottom soil, like whatever it is that you're planning to put. An inch would be decent. It should be more than enough to grow. Remember, you gotta give some room for the roots to take hold. How to video on collecting wild plants and dipping them or quarantine for them. I could tell you how to dip them and quarantine for aquarium. I just don't go collecting wild plants. That's up to JH Aquatics. He does that a lot, I think. Oh, he does that for wild fishes. For plants, I don't know. I don't usually. I'm in LA. There's not much. There's not many places to go and research this stuff and see what plants are growing in a river or whatever without going way, way out of the way. So, hey, Sergeant Tank, how you doing? Good to see you here, buddy. What do I think about the wall stall method? I love it. I think it works. Everything's logical about it. I've never tried it yet because it still freaks me about not having filtration in the tank for the fishes. If I don't have fish in the tank and I'm just doing a planted tank, it doesn't matter. It's all wall stall method, right? The only reason I still have like my 40 gallon right now is just I just let it. It's just going. Right, there's tons of algae in it, but there's plants growing in it too. It has a filter on it because originally I planned to put fish in it, but I never did. I let it go. I got out of it and came back into it and it's still running. And I just keeping it running for the filter itself to keep the beneficial bacteria going. But yeah, it works. I think if you follow the exact and you have to plant the tank well. I mean, extremely just stick plants into that and just shove plants into that tank. It will work. Wall stall method does work because I'm mostly with all my tanks mostly doing a lot of the wall stall method except to the point of where I'm not using a filter. See, going down more. Just trying to find my place. There it is. Hey Ken, welcome. Good to see you here. Damon, you like Damon's question? What the hell was Damon's question again? Oh, how about collecting wild then? Okay. Yeah, dipping and quarantining them. I actually have a video on that. And I'll share with you guys here. Hopefully you guys don't see the folders where I have my porn in. Not that I watch porn, it's for research. Yeah, that's it. Research. Hold on a second. That I actually have. Do I have it here? Here, bleach washing algae. And I actually have videos on that. I just never put it together. You know why? Because I melt the shit out of my. Oh, sorry. I melt the crap out of my cryptochlorines. I literally left them in there too long, and they all died. But what I did was, this is my grow out tank, and I was playing around with it. This is the tank where I just shove extra trimmings in and then grow them back a long time ago. See see that? See this Blixa here? All this was just from that one little stem that I clipped from my other tank, and I stuck it in there. And 3 or 4 weeks, this is what I got out of it. Blixa grows so well in a really nice nice setup tank. But what happened was it was getting algae in here. So what I'm like, instead of trying to bounce tank and fix it, I'm like, oh, this is good opportunity for me to make a video about dipping in plants. So I have everything set up, and I had it going through, and then I just never finished it. I never did it. I don't know why. I should just do it. It's sitting here. It's a free video that I can make out of it. So that's one of those things that I have to do. And it actually show you, this was done before I took that long break on my channel. I actually have other videos just sitting in the queue here. It's do it yourself 4D HK water. This is how to make water for that bubble counter, that CO2 bubble counter thingy. Right, and then let's see here, what else do I got? There's the Phoenix Planet Plus review. I never did this. I really should do this, but this is my review on the Phoenix Planet Plus. I got a review on the Stingray that I recorded. Green Leaf Aquariums, Inline Atomize. I got a lot of product reviews up, or actually recorded. I just haven't made them because the thing with, I don't know why I'm so afraid to do product reviews. I did one, which is that Sun. Well, 2. Sun and the Phoenix Plant Risers. Those are the only 2 I did. I really have to get my butt together and just do it. This is my review of the Omni regulator, which this thing sucks. I never got it to work. So this is the reason why I didn't do this review. Because for some reason I couldn't get it to work right, and I didn't know what was wrong with it. I was gonna go back and try to make it work again, but never got around to it. The review on the Little Fresh 2.0. Look at that, right? And that's where I'm getting some of my clips for the lighting videos. This was from this video here. You know, I talk about the use, stuff like that. I really have to get these out. I don't know why I don't know why I'm sitting on these product reviews. There's a product review on the Sunsun 302. And oh, you know why? I think I know what it is. I just don't want to become a product review channel, even though I can make a lot of money off of this. I mean, but that's right now. That's not my purpose. My purpose is just grow my viewers, grow the channel. And this is oh, this one is coming. This is being saved for the CO2 series, where I talk about setting up a CO2 counter, CO2 drop checker. That's what they're called. But yeah. And oh yeah, here's the Aquatech review too. So, oh, and here's one I did about making a canopy. I don't know if this goes. I don't even know if you guys want to see this. Let me know. But this is the video about making a canopy for a compact fluorescent for a 10-gallon tank. So this is originally how my grow out tank looked like. That was it, right? This was like when I started getting everything to get back into the hobby. This thing right here is one of those made in China, low light. I don't know if it's low light. It's just one of those cheap fixtures, and it was a 5-gallon fixture thing. And what I did was put on this 10-gallon. I raised all my HC pots and just put it way to the top so it gets enough lighting. And it actually worked. I was scoring HC this way for like 3 or 4 weeks before I put it into the Iwagumi style tank that I was building at the time. But you know, this is some of the old ways of me doing things. That was fun. So what I did was make a canopy, which you guys see here. Like I totally did a totally Joey style do-it-yourself video about making canopy. And there it is. I don't know if you guys hearing the sound on this, so hopefully it's not too loud. But that's canopy. Yeah, I should really do these videos. I think it's one of those save it for a rainy day videos. Is what I was doing. But anyways, you guys have any? Yeah, I gotta get to those. If any of those videos that I went through and haven't made yet, and you guys want to see, let me know so I can put it in the to make next video list that I already have going. But no, a lot of it right now is I'm at the point. I just hit 5K, which thank you guys very much. I'm not actually like making a big deal out of this one because I'm treading the point from 5K to 10K because I know this as a fact that at this point everything will be really, really slow. It'll feel like it'll take forever to get from 5K to 10K because I've been through this twice already. Okay, is that this is the period where it's gonna be really, really slow, and I don't want to think about it. I just want to get through it, this little period, and when it hits 10K again, things will start speeding up again. It's one of those things. If you've done enough YouTube channels, you'll know. Because for those you guys don't know, I have other YouTube channels. Right? I'm not going to actually switch account. It's going to knock you guys out. But my main, well, not my main, my biggest channel right now is at 24,000 subscribers. My second channel, second biggest channel is 18,000 subscribers. And then you have my aquarium channel, which is at 5,000 right now. And I have other channels. This is the RPG channel. This is where I post all my role-playing sessions. Not therapy sessions, but gaming sessions. Okay, where a bunch of our friends, I record them. I run Dungeons & Dragons adventures, and we get together online, and then we have an adventure. And I record all of them and post them here. But yeah, those are my main channels. I have other little channels too, like this Wild Legacy. This is an old channel, where I did all my World of Warcraft videos long time ago. This is back in 2008, I think, was when I did this channel. And when I shut down the channel, all my subscribers left. But hey, it happens. The videos are still there though. But the thing is, they're all outdated videos. They don't use these mods. I did mod reviews and mod tutorials about how to use these mods in World of Warcraft. But those mods are so outdated now. I don't even know if they're using it anymore. And this was going to become my blog channel. I haven't done anything with it yet. Then I got other things. The Greenskeeper one. This is the golfing channel that I was working on with a friend. But yeah. Don't know. I don't know about that channel right now. He just doesn't get how YouTube works and how all the social media works right now. So it's a pain in the butt. So anyways, I got way off topic here. But again, Q&A, I can talk to about anything I want. The 21 inch teeth and the fixture 40 inches as well as the tank. Yeah, I already answered that question. Hopefully that helps you. Let me know if it helped. Call the data. Hey, an 80 liter 230 watt exterior reflectors. 6.5. I don't know if that's good or not. I don't know what kind of fixture it is. 30 watts doesn't tell me anything, and 65K doesn't tell me anything. It just tells me your Kelvin rating. It just tells me how much power you're using to power those lights. Nothing about those two things that you just told me has anything to do with growing plants. So I need more information. Let me know what kind of lighting it is. What kind of fixture is it? I am jumping around, it looks like, on these questions because I must be missing some when I'm scrolling upwards. How many companies max for a 25 planet tank? I worry about crashing even with a sponge filter. HOP. I can't answer that. I'm not a guppy guy. You gotta ask a guppy person about that. But I'd use common sense when it comes to how many guppies I could put in 29-gallon tank. It depends on how the tank's set up. You could actually put a little bit more if it's a heavily planted tank. Loaded question. I'm gonna move on, Tampa. SO, how you doing? Good to see you. Steelfire, welcome to the chat. Steelfire says he or she recommends adding them gradually, which is yes, the good thing. Do not. You could cry. The main thing about crashing in an aquarium I believe you're talking about a bio crash, is when you just suddenly dump a lot of livestock in the tank, which causes a huge spike in ammonia, which then crashes the bacteria in your filter, because the bacteria grows to the point of how much ammonia it's getting, how much it can eat. Okay, that's it. If you pour too much all of a sudden and just give it a huge spike, they're all gonna freak out. They're not gonna be able to catch up with it. Well, I don't know if they'll die because of it, but they're not gonna be able to produce and cycle that ammonia or nitrite into the next form. Okay, and that's the crash. That's what happens when a tank crashes. You're just putting too much into a tank at once, and whatever you already have in the tank that's established to handle that can't handle the load. No, it's like you have one guy at a cashier, and then you have this huge long line of people trying to get check out the groceries. So if he's servicing one or two people in the line, it's no big deal. But suddenly, everyone in the store who happens to be shopping at the time decides to go check out at once. You're gonna have this huge line of people, right? So what happens? He can't. The only way to fix that is to open more line registers up. But assuming that he's the only one working at that time, you have no choice but to service all those shoppers at once. And what happens is, in this case, the ammonia is going to stack up. There's nothing to take care of all that ammonia, and then everything starts dying in your tank. And then when things die, they decay. When things decay, it creates more ammonia. You get a more bigger spike, and then suddenly you have a case of quicksand, where whatever you do, as much you can do, it just becomes worse. Let's see here. What LED? Oops. What LED brands, this is from Car Galaxy Studio? What LED light brands do you typically recommend? LED bang for the buck? Fluval. Fluval First Implanted 2.0, 3.0. Those are great. My favorite is Phoenix Planet Pluses. 24/7s, I heard it was good. People are having a lot of trouble with them because the 24/7, the newer ones, have a it's a step up. So I think people are not expecting to step up. They're not expecting a change in how it was made. So with their older tank or whatever they're trying to step up, all the information they're getting from the internet of people using the old Platinum Plus are like kind of outdated information at this time. So they go and put that light on the new Phoenix Planet Plus 24/7 light on it, and suddenly algae growth everywhere. It's because I believe they changed the makeup of the light. I would love to get my hands on one and just try it out. But those are two brands I recommend. That's best bang for the buck right now. Bang for the buck, you said, right? If you want really intense like highlighting and or something that you could control with ease, go T5 high outputs. That's still the best way to go if you want a lot of control and a lot of intensity, and a lot of ability to control the intensity as well as control the spectrum and the coloring and all that. Just a lot more customization available for you at a T5 high output fixture. But bang for the buck right now is the best way is LEDs, and the brand I suggest is Fluval Planet Plus and the Phoenixes. Now people are going to say Current or the China brand ones. There's nothing wrong with those guys, and they do high output lights. I don't have experience with them myself, so I can't say much about it. But I'm also one of those guys that really depend on, sometimes depending on the branding, because I know that they actually do the research. And Fluvo especially, they have so much resources to back up their products, and that's what I like. That's the thing, and I also understand how the whole made in China stuff works. So, because I was part of the back end of those process in other things. In my old job, which is all about cosmetics, there was a lot of things going behind there where we dealt with a lot of the China factories. In the wargaming thing, miniature casting, because that's what was my channel, was about painting miniatures. So I had a lot of exposure to, the China factories, because one of the sponsors that sponsored me has a factory in China, so I understand how the process works. So things made in China, I'm gonna tell you right now, works. The only problem with things made in China is their QA process, the quality control aspects of it, is not as strict as, like, say, USA or Europe. Okay, so when they make things, they make things the same way they would if someone here in USA hired a factory in China to make their products. The only difference is if I'm a US company, I would tell them, I go, this is the whole SOP, the standard procedures of how I want my quality control done. If there's anything wrong that you find in the quality control process, it goes back to the factory line and fixed. Okay? For them, they don't need to do that, right? Because first of all, they don't have those laws really to worry about. And second, it gets stuff done out quicker. It gets things pushed out quicker. And third, they don't really need to market it, right? Usually, they just put it up and not worry about the market. Like Fluval, they must spend tons of money on marketing, because you look at just look at the products. Look at how they shelve it. Look how they display it. Look at all the marketing copy on the products. And you'll see that they put money into it. China doesn't need to do that. People know when we buy stuff from China, we say it's from China. We know it, and we know we take the chance on it. And that's what you're doing. You're taking a chance on it. And since, Amazon's really open to third-party sellers now, China's making a really great foothold in the market doing it this way. And for me, sometimes, especially when it comes to certain things like lighting, I do want to stay, within my brand. If I'm doing something that I'm not too emotionally invested in, like a tank I want to put together, I'd say, well, low light, I could actually just go to Home Depot and get a shop light and put a daylight bulb on it and just grow the plants, because you could do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But it looks ugly. So I'll just go on Amazon and go and get a beanswork or whatever it is. And it's at least it looks pretty, and put it on my tank. It's the same concept of doing it that way. It looks a little prettier. So a few more bucks, I got a nice looking light on top of my plant. So there's all those it's all those weighing down the thing of what I want to do. Like if I want to do a Dutch style, like I said, I'm gonna do that 40-gallon to a Dutch style. Do that. I want to make sure I have those Fluval 2.0s on it. That's the only reason why I'm considering doing that with that tank. So I have those two Fluval 2.0 fixtures on it, and I know those 2.0 Fluval fixtures can grow high demanding light plants, especially in that setup of the tank. Okay, so yeah, I would recommend, when it comes to lighting brand, if you really, really care about and really want to grow highlight plants, is the Phoenix and the Fluvals. Okay, if you don't really care that much of stuff, and you're doing all low light tank, go to Amazon, get a beanswork, or whatever. You can even buy their high output versions of it. Supposedly they'll go out. Say, I can't tell because I've never tried it yet. So yeah. Anyways, that's answer to your question. I went way off. Okay. So another fixture will increase power value. Yeah. Since that, okay, if you watch my videos, I did mention in the spread video that if you have two lights, okay, so here's the spread for one fixture. And if you put another fixture next to it, you'll know that the spread will cross. When that spread crosses, the power rating in this area here, right, raises. Okay, so it does help, especially when you have a deep tank, to have two light fixtures that overlaps the spread. Okay, especially with the Fluval 2.0, the spread is we were just looking at it and I forgot already, 120 degrees. So that's a nice spread. We're looking at a spread like this. One fixture should already cover at least all of your tank when it gets to the bottom of the substrate. But again, if you watch my videos, in the par video, once that light, the par rating, the intensity, once it gets to the substrate, is weaker than the par rating on top. So when it gets down to the substrate, that's why it's like 66, 3 inches. We were talking about 62 par, basically, with your tank. So if you put another fixture in it, it's going to raise the par. It's not going to double it. I know for sure it's not going to double it, but it will add to it. See, like I said in the video, I can't find the equations out there on Google right now of how to calculate that. It will add to the par, and I don't have a par meter to measure it, but it will add to the par. Someone mentioned and pointed me to one of Corey's video that he did do that. He turned on one bulb, measured it, and turned on another bulb, and it actually raised it really, really high. I have to look at that video again. I don't know how that worked, but I do know it does raise the par rating. I just don't know about how much. Does it raise it significantly? It should. For example, if you're getting par rating at this point of 50, and then you have another light shining at that point where it also gives it 50, logically we think it will double it up. I don't think it will double it up. It might increase it significantly. So if you're doing 50, it might do it about maybe a third of it. So we're talking about 50 to 65 maybe. That's what that's a guess though. So I really don't want to say much more about that because I have no proof, nothing, no measurements on that. Hello, are you stirring a substrate? I want to know what depth the substrate effective plants will go. Enough for the the plants to take root. If you're using dirt, you're gonna cap it. Okay. So what in this case, what that dirt substrate is going to do is give the plant roots nutrients and give your water column nutrients. So it's not about how the depth for that soil is not about growing plants. It's about giving nutrients out. So you want about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of the soil. Your cap is what's going to matter when it comes to growing plants. The cap to your soil is going to be the bed where the plant's going to take root and grow. And you want about at least 1 inch on that. Okay, you might get away with 3/4 of an inch. Okay, but 1 inch will do fine. So put about 1/2 inch of soil, and then and the rest of it, put 1 inch of the cap on it. It could be sand, it could be just regular gravel or whatever. 1 inch will work. A little bit more is going to make it easier for you to plant plants. Okay, but 1 inch will do more than enough. So I used your guide to try start a tank a few weeks ago. It's on week 5 now. This is from Steel Fire, and taking hold pretty well, at least to the extent of there's now roots. Okay. Oh, just wanted to thank you for that. Oh, good. I'm glad it was working out. Yeah, the whole thing is just get those roots growing. You want to build a really good root system. That's what it's for. And then when you flood it, everything's probably going to die back a little, but then they're going to go back because of that root system you established during the dry start method. Okay? So that's one thing I didn't mention in the video. I mentioned about doing it, but I didn't mention about why you're doing it, really. And that's to build a really good root system for your carpeting plants. Because once you build that really good root system, and I'm not trying to be Mr. Miyagi in here, but strong roots, you can get through anything. Okay, plants will grow back and everything. That's the most important thing. That's why when I get plants, I order plants from someone, I look at it when it comes in, I look at the roots. Right? And that's when I know that whether or not I should buy from them anymore. Right? It's not too much about how the plants look and when they got to me, the leaves and stuff, because you could grow all that stuff back. And most likely when you're shipping plants like that, it's going to get worse for wear. But the most important thing is that the roots are healthy and well established, because anything can grow from there. When you have a strong, healthy root system. Kodada used a bleach method on a number of stem plants, and eventually the algae was gone from the leaf, but the plants all melted. You soaked it too long, or you used too much bleach in the mix. The thing is each plant there's certain plants that could be dunked longer than the other plants. But if you're getting rid of algae, dunk it for only a few seconds. Really, you don't really need to do all that much of a dunk. Just a few seconds is enough, and then just rinse it out. Yeah, like Patricia said, I mean, the best way to get rid of algae for me is just if you have an infestation of algae, is I do a blackout on my tank for 3 days, and it always worked for me. Speaking of bubble counters, I got my bubble counters. I got 5 of them from AliExpress for like $3 each. They're nice glass acrylics. Well, good. I just hope they work well. Remember, I had trouble with mine, and I switched over to a nicer bubble counter, and it worked much, much better. Yeah, reviews will gain views for sure. It's just I don't know why I hate doing product reviews. I don't know why. Yeah, I want to paste them out. I mean, I have a stack of them, so I might as well just do it. I think the other problem is I'm afraid that it's out of style now. For example, Fluvo 2.0 is now 3.0. The Phoenix Planet Plus is still relevant, I guess, but they came up with the new Planet Plus 24/7, the SE. I think they're still relevant. I should do them. Stop sitting on my butt on those. Called that. I think you should do product reviews. It would help people out where they're saying when the product's not good. They help me out. Yeah, okay. I'll start putting them up. I think I just gotta get off of my butt and do it. I don't know why I haven't been doing it. I've already recorded all this stuff. I don't know why I did. Car Galaxy 2. Also, people who haven't gotten to CO2 might be nice to take them through the process. Yeah. The CO2. There's gonna be a CO2 series just after the lighting series. The lighting series that I just started, that I just posted, is the lead up to the 3-part series of series. The CO2, the lighting series, the CO2 series, and the fertilization series. They're all multi-part series. Those are the series that continues from the Beginner's Planet Tank Guide series. If that makes sense. You're supposed to watch them all in order when it's all done. Right? You're supposed to watch Beginner Planet Guide. Watch those 4 videos. Was it 4? Was it 4, guys? Yeah, I think it's 4. You're supposed to watch that, and then you go into the photosynthesis video, and then the balanced video, and then you're supposed to go into the lighting series. And in the lighting series, there's a couple videos you're supposed to go in between, and then go in the CO2 series. And the CO2 series, after the CO2 series, there's a couple videos in between, and then you go into the fertilization series. And then after that's all done, I'm doing a very long beginner series, which I don't know how I'm going to do, because it's going to be long. I don't know, people it's going to sit through a series of 13 videos, 14 videos, 15 videos of beginner stuff. For beginners it's good, but I don't think even beginners want to sit through 13 videos. So the way I'm setting that up is the first video is going to get you through everything, but it's just going to touch base on all the subjects I'm going to talk about in the upcoming 14 or 15 videos. Anyways, that's just the long plan that I have of the videos. And in between, I just do all these, videos that you guys seen so far already. So that's why I'm asking more ideas. If you guys want me to put in, make more videos that are in between. I really should just sit down and just do all those series that I already planned out and not worry about, and then just worry about doing all the other one-shot videos. The only problem with that is I'm afraid that I'm going to run out of stuff to do. Because after a while, you're going to get to a point in channel where you're going to go, well, actually, no, that's not true. Because I already have a plan of what to go into after all the planet stuff. After the planet tank stuff, where it starts weaning out. I already know where it's going after that. Which, I don't know, it's going to be like kind of a switch to the channel. But that's way down the line, I think. I don't know, but what the switch is going to go to is the natural. It's really, I think, it's a natural switch. It was into coral reefing, because I love corals. I love reefs. I just haven't got around to starting that up yet. So yeah. Yeah, I got the Aquatech Mini regulator. That's what's running right now, currently in my tank downstairs that you've seen. That you guys should have saw in some of my Aqua Chat videos. It's behind me. It's the tank behind me. It's a low tech planet tank, but I put a regulator in it because I got tired of watching water boil. The plants was growing so slow I couldn't stand it. My opinion on it: I hate the needle valve. It's really hard. At first, I thought, I had a really huge problem with adjusting it with the needle valve. And part of the problem was because I have a really crappy bubble counter on it. So I figured it out. I switched the bubble counter out for a more expensive bubble counter on it, and it made the needle valve work much better. But still, it's still a little tricky. I would adjust it to write bubbles per second, and then when it goes out, it's on a timer. When it goes out and it comes back on again, it doesn't come back on. I have to readjust it. I have to keep doing that until it works. So it's really obnoxious. I hate that. So Aquatech Mini Regulator, I don't know. Right now, my go-to regulators is going on eBay and get something that's made in China for $50 because I have 2 or 3 of those and they work excellent. I have no problem with those at all, right? Aqua Mini Tech Regulator, over $100. Nah, not worth it. And see, that's probably why I don't want to do that review. Well, actually, I should do that review so people will know. But I got to make it more fair. Because here's the thing. For that Aquatech Mini regulator, I thought it was just me. I thought I got a dud. So I tried to contact them, which was extremely hard. The website or whatever, I couldn't read. I don't understand. There's no way to contact them. So then I went on Amazon and looked at all the reviews and stuff, and apparently it wasn't just me. Tons of people are leaving the same reviews. They're having problems with the needle valve. So honestly, looking at that regulator, it's just either they're just, having a made in China factory, and this is what some people do. They shop around at these Chinese factories. Now, if you're in the business or if you understand importing and exporting or you have some kind of connection to it, you'll know that right now I can make a whole line of water box aquarium stuff. Okay. Maybe I should. I don't know. And it's really easy to do. I would contact my contact in China. And I'd say, I need this, this, and this. Please go shopping for me. So what they'll do, he'll go around to all the factories that make these products. Right? It doesn't matter. They make these products. For who? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Right? And all it is that they're a manufacturer. They make regulators. There's no branding on it. It's just regulators. Okay? So you strike up a deal with them and say, I want 10,000 regulators. Order 10,000 regulators. This is what I want you branded. Put this brand on it, the water box. And then once you're done, ship it to me. Export it to me into my warehouse. Yeah, a warehouse could be in China. And I could ship out of China, which is not all that great. So for marketing value, because people here in the U.S. want to order it from a warehouse from the U.S. because it's shipping. A lot of people, because like me, I order from the U.S. a lot because I want to get my products faster. Ordering from China, 2 to 3 weeks or whatever. So I would have that stuff crated, carted, shipped, whatever, a whole pallet full of the stuff that I ordered to my USA warehouse where I will sell out of it. And in the USA is where I have my website, where I have my marketing strategy, where I am marketing to you guys, where I am shipping to Amazon for either seller fulfillment, or I could sell it as a seller on Amazon without going through their Amazon Prime program and all that stuff. Yeah, so that's easy to do. It's just it takes a lot of time to do, and when you're working with China products and factories like this in China, it can be a pain in the butt because I'm no guarantee that all those 10,000 regulators are made correctly to my spec. I give them a whole document on this is how I want it QA'd, but it's not always right. There's always a return value. This happens to stuff like this. Right, this is a Badger air compressor. I use it for airbrushing. Badger orders Badger is an airbrushing company. I don't know if you guys know anything about airbrush, but they make airbrushes like this. Okay, they're my sponsors for my wargaming channel. A huge sponsor of my wargaming channel. I know the guy, the president. He's a good friend of mine now. We met a lot years ago when I made my channel, and he started sponsoring me through all my endeavors of the wargaming stuff. He flew me out of all these places to do demos and stuff. So what they do is they make airbrushes, but all their airbrushes and all the parts and everything are made in U.S. It's all from U.S. companies. But for air compressors, they do outsource it from Taiwan. And the whole thing is that they order from them, they manufacture these the compressors, they ship it to their facilities in Chicago, and then there in their factory line they put on three additional parts. And these parts are made in the USA. It's from their own brother companies, sister companies. and they put it in there. That's how they do the QA process. That's how they know. The problem is the return rate on that is about 3 or 4%. So out of 1,000 compressors, you're looking at about 3 or 4 that they need to send back and get a credit on. So assuming that you're ordering 10,000 compressors, that's 30 or 40, right? So the problem with that is the process to return them and get credit is a pain in the butt. They ran into a problem with them. Their old manufacturer. So their old manufacturer, they had a tiff with them about this is the credit you owe us. They didn't want to give you credit because that's who you're dealing with. So they got in a fight. So they halt all productions on the compressors. So they had to go and shop for a new manufacturer, right? So at that point, their sales for the compressor went down because they had no compressors to sell at the time. Okay, that's the stuff you have to deal with when you're dealing with this kind of manufacturing, this kind of exporting and importing type of stuff. So yeah, I could go and make a whole product line of water box, aquarium stuff, and I can make sure that, the best I can, make sure that they work, and when you get it, it works. But I can never guarantee that. But that's, I think, how Aquatech's doing it. Okay, I really think that they're just not really, when they did that, they weren't paying attention to the quality control on the needle valve. They just saw that, they got the regulator. They said, make these changes. They made them. The manufacturer did. And they're like, okay, Aquatech regulator, let's sell this. I think that's how they did it. I mean, I can't know. I don't know who does what in their company. Not that I care anymore. I just know that the regulator I got from them isn't all that great. Yeah, tons of stuff going on. I don't really make much videos on my other channels right now. I'm taking a break, especially from the Wargaming channel. I stopped doing the scale modeling channel a while ago, mainly because my Wargaming channel blew up when I switched over to it. I got a lot of people following it, and it was a different audience, but it did the same thing. It covered models like, I kind of do, like little spaceship models and stuff. This is kind of like scale modeling too, but we use this to play in war games on the table. But they're pretty much the same type of thing. It's a scale model. The only difference is that, it's not the only difference, because even in scale modeling, people paint up army men to go with their tanks or airplanes or whatever. We just do little models like this, and we put it on the table and we game with it. It's a game called, the most popular game is called Warhammer 40k, but I play a lot of other games too. Mainly I play this game called Malifaux. It's a gothic steampunk thing. Gothic steampunk. If you guys watch Pet Tech, that's what he talks about sometimes in this video. He's actually a model painter too, which is really cool. I didn't know that, and when I watched it, I was like, oh, cool. So let's talk to him about that. That's really cool. I love how there's so many people in this hobby, in the aquarium hobby, that meshes over to my other hobbies too. All right, good. I'm glad I helped you, Calzada. 29-gallon tank if planted, and cash will probably fit 40. I don't know. I don't give them hard numbers like that. I hate doing that because I really don't know how they have everything set up. I don't know, and unless I have all that information, I don't like to give them a straight number. But hey, you're the guppy guy. I'm not. I don't like guppies. I hate live bears, and it's not because I don't like them, because they're not pretty or fit. It's just I hate having 2 and then 50,000 in a month. That's why I hate. Because that happened to me with my swordtails and mollies a long time ago. I didn't know what to do with them. I didn't want to flush them. I just gave them to the fish store, and after a while, even the fish store says, "I don't want no more. We don't want no more." Sorry about the accent. They were Asian, but that's how they sound. We don't want no more. You bring too much. Use aquarium light stock calculator, calculate tank filtration econ. Then that's weird. That's interesting. You could get a good, I guess. I'd never seen a livestock calculator before. Livestock, I don't know how that would work. How would you ask them other stuff? If you're just basing on your tank size and filtration, that's not going to give you a good number. Okay, I guess I'll give you a good number to start with. But the problem is like, You don't take in factor the plants. They don't take in factor of the other stuff that you might or might not be doing. So if the tech calculator says, oh, you can put 40 in there, and then they actually go by, oh, just put 40 in there, and things start dying, it's because something's off. They're wondering why the calculator didn't work. See, I hate doing that. I would just say, look, you got to teach them how to figure things out rather than just telling them. I hate that too. I hate when people expect a one-word answer. People expect a recipe. And this is not just this hobby. This is also the wargaming hobby. I'm painting models and stuff. Because when we're painting models, one of the things about the game I play is called Warhammer 40K, and they're all about Marine, Space Marine. They're all about armies. You're supposed to field armies. And as armies, they have color schemes. I don't have one on here right now. Okay, so they have color schemes, and people are like, well, how did you paint this color scheme? They're in there's something called chapters. It's basically the army they're in. Like, well, how do you figure out the colors for this army? I'm like, what do you mean figure it out? If it's yellow, it's yellow. He goes, well, a certain shade of yellow, then you use that certain shade of yellow. And they expect a recipe, and that's one of the things about the YouTubers that do painting tutorials on the miniatures, which for our translation is like doing a build video for a fish tank, is that they expect a recipe. They're like, oh, I love what you did with this model. I want the exact recipe you did and what you did so I could do the same exact thing, right? And that's not going to work. I can tell you right now, I could give you the whole recipe about how to make a YouTube channel and get a lot of viewers, right? But I give you my recipe and how I did it. Just because I did it my way doesn't mean that you're going to succeed in your way. Because what I'm not teaching you is how to adjust, how to adjust to changes that might happen, right? Just because I do my channel one way doesn't mean if you do it the same way I did it, you're going to do, because you have a different personality, you have a different schedule, you have a different all this other stuff. Same thing with aquariums. I could tell you, oh, size of the tank, and your filter, you have this many fish. But I didn't ask about temperature. I didn't ask about what type of fish, how big of a fish, right? I didn't ask if you're planting a tank or not planting a tank, and all these other abilities. I didn't even ask you about your skill. Do you know anything about fish, right? Obviously, you don't know that much because you're using a calculator to figure out how many fish you can put in your tank. But what I can do is teach you what to look out for, so you'll know whether or not you can put that many fish, right? So I would just say start with 2 or 3 and go from there. And then talk to me later when you're going down the line and you think about adding more fish. And that's really, really hard, especially in the hobby. I know you guys know this. When a newbie comes to the hobby, they want to put 1 billion fish in the fish tank when they put water in the tank. They don't know anything about cycling. They don't know anything about that. And it does happen, right? But the only way we can do is be patient and teach them, right? Not teach them a recipe. Teach them the recipe and, all right, teach them a recipe and how to cook. How's that? Does it sound better? Because I give you a recipe, but if you don't know how to cook with a dam, it's not going to do any good, right? So give them the recipe and teach them how to cook. That's my advice for today. That's my final thoughts today when I close this stream up, which should be soon. Wow, I'm asking a lot of questions. This is really good. I like these. When they die, my dwarf catfish is happy to eat it, I'm sure. Hey, JH, how you doing, Joseph? Hopefully he's still here. I know I've been answering questions all day. All on the stream here, so I haven't been catching up. Hey, Nick, thank you for watching. Glad the videos help you. Yeah, man. I love doing videos for you guys. One Man Aquarius. Hey, where are you at? If you're asking me, I'm here at my house. Have you tried seeing Aquascape? No. Townhall meeting is where? Here. Here. Townhall meeting is here in this chat, in this live chat right now. Coral or Laurel? Coral or Laurel? I don't know. Yani or Nani? There's a paint brand that sells aquarium safe paint for ornaments. I don't know if there's actual paint or a brand that actually makes it just for aquarium safe. But I can tell you, acrylic paints, as long as it's true acrylic paints, they don't put anything else in it, should be safe to paint ornaments. And in order to do that, you paint it, but to be safe, I would put an epoxy or whatever over it. That was one of the research that I was doing for that project I had in mind, but I decided not to do the project. It's just too much. I didn't want to mix the hobbies together. Because honestly, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be doing the wargaming videos. Because it's just losing interest for me. I mean, I don't know. There's a very big difference between the community, between this community and that community too. Because in that community, even though a lot of the hobbyists, the painters, the people are in it to the art of it, to paint the miniatures and stuff like that, has to deal with the gamers. Most of the gamers are nice. A lot of the gamers are toxic. I can just tell you that. They're just little whiny babies. I can't stand it. But I'm not. If any of my gamers are here, you know that I'm not talking about you. You know who I'm talking about. They're like the fish police in our hobby. The toxic gamers. They're just like fish police. Now, at least we can shut the fish police up really easy. We can shut the other, the toxic gamers up too, but it just seems just more of it over there. Boo! What goes on here? Boo! A lot of things go on here. What's up, H2O Plants? How you doing, Justin? Scale plants. Yep. It involves scale plants. I think Justin's here trolling my chat because he knows I troll his chat. My tanks are all plants. 40k rocks. Yeah, 40k does rock. Assuming you could afford playing that stupid game. Show tanks are leaving. Then leave, Justin! There's no tanks in this room. Not yet, anyways. Yeah, I know it's not perfect. He's talking about the measurement of the livestock calculator. It's not perfect, but at least it'll get you started, right? Ken, I want to start a new 10-gallon tank, low tech, low light. Suggestions? I suggest getting a 10-gallon tank with low light and low light plants. I'm not sure which suggestions are you asking. 10-gallon tanks are easy. Low light, getting a low light fixture is easy. I always get the Phoenix Stingray. Because the Stingray is nice because the profile is so thin. And it looks nice on your tank. That's why I get it. That's why I would like that. That's why I like getting that for my 10-gallon tank. My opinion is somewhat less problematic to be looking for a formula in aquarium, but you have to be willing to actually learn from the science behind fish keeping. It's true. Well, not the science, or at least understand the whys behind the hows. What? Yeah. Understand the whys behind the hows. Because I'm doing all these videos for you guys. I'm telling you how things work, but they're the videos that tell you the whys. It's a little harder to explain. Like aquascaping, those two videos did on aquascaping. It's a little hard to do because they're all concept videos, and it's hard to explain the concept. And I think that's a lot of problems that we have in this hobby. People just want to like put up a tank, make it look good, and forget about it. You know, if they already think about that, then just tell them how to set up a tank and let them be on their way and hope for the best. Because what they're going to do is they're going to set up the tank, get bored of it, ignore it, fish going to die, they'll move on to the next thing in their lives. You know, playing Pokemon or whatever on the phone. Whatever they do in their lives, right? There's those people. You know, you just can't easily identify. If they keep asking for a recipe, just give them the recipe and let them be on their way. You know, that's the thing. I know when someone's worth talking to more is when they start asking the right questions. You know, they're like, "Oh, I want to set up this. What do you think?" My suggestion, like what Ken just did here. At least I know Ken has his own stuff. But I would suggest something, right? Well, what do you want to do? What do you want to grow? Okay, cool. They start asking questions, and when they ask the right question, then I know they're in it for a little longer, or at least there's some kind of interest in it for the long run, right? So then I'll pay attention to that. But if they don't, it's just kind of like, well, I don't know if you're in it that much, but here, do this, buy this, buy this, buy this, go away, you know, kind of thing. I mean, I don't say it like that, but you know what I mean. Since there's some fairly exact science in this hobby versus painting. Yeah, painting is painting is very artistic, but so it's in the hobby. There's some fairly exact, but not always exact. Like par rating is exact. Par rating in a hobby based on where you're planting the plant to tank, and the light going through the water and stuff. That's not exact. It can't be. There's no way. I can't say that the water in my tank is going to move the same way in your tank, so that par rating at 12 inches is going to be the same exact par rating in my tank as it is in yours. There's no way. There's just so many variables. There can't be exact science. The source of it is exact, but once you get to the end, the product, it starts becoming exact, and we just got to go with, ooh, it's close enough. Stephane, how you doing? Keep looking what you really helped me. Cool, thanks. Glad it helped you. You should visit some hobbyists and do live shows like Justin. Yeah, if they ask me, I'd do it. I don't think I've ever been on anyone's channel yet with a live show because no one asked me. I don't know why. I really think a lot of people don't like me. I don't know why. But I think it's just because I'm being paranoid. What's the best way to grow moss? Throw it into the tank. I don't know how else you can explain growing moss. Moss is really easy. Moss can die, yeah, sure, but really, they're really easy to grow. You just stick them in the tank, plant them anywhere you want, and let it grow. I mean, there might be more exact science to moss, but for me, every time I grew moss, I just basically threw it into a tank. You latch them onto something. If you don't want to latch them on, just let them float around. You don't have to tie or glue them to logs or rocks, Patricia. I mean, it makes it easy, and it does make it grow a little faster. But you can just stick them, throw them in the tank, and let it float. That's what I did with my Java moss. I had that big of a golf ball size of Java moss that I pulled from one of my tanks and threw in my garage tank. I just threw it in there. I didn't bother, attaching it to anything. Weeks later, I had huge glob of moss. That's right. Got to catch them all. How about low light or highlight? I'm not sure what that's relating to. Ken, I'm in it. I guess I'm asking, what would you do to do 10 gallon low tech and low maintenance? Right. Okay. Well, how does this, Ken? Because I already did 10 gallon. That's low tech, low maintenance. All right. I even have a series on my 10 gallon, which is doing really well for some damn reason. It's the beachfront 10 gallon tank aquascape I did. It's a low light planted tank. It used. I did put CO2 in it, but I put it using the Fluval 20G CO2. But I can tell you, one of the plans I have for a 10 gallon tank, low tech, which what I would do, like if I needed to do one right now, and just do some aquascape in it, just because I'm bored, I have nothing else to do. 10 gallon tank, Phoenix Stingray, Echo Complete soil, Echo Complete cap. Soil Echo Complete cap. So half an inch, Echo Complete an inch and a half. Okay, because I might be pulling plants out a lot and stuff. So what the Echo Complete's going to do is suck up the nutrients from the soil and store into the Echo Complete itself. So having that large Echo Complete gravel substrate will help keep the soil from coming out too much, right? And more enough room for the roots to grow on the plants without reaching the soil too quickly. All right, just in case I need to pull it out and move them around. So we got that down. And I will get another Fluval CO2 system. Fluval 20G CO2 system. Just put passive CO2 in it because it works so well on that 10 gallon video I did on that tank. I would all in one dose it, and I would get tons of driftwood because it's going to be a driftwood tank. I would make it into now again, we're just saying if I just decided to start one just because I'm bored. tons of Java ferns, cryptochlorine browns. Gotta get my Amazon sword compacta. I don't know why. I need those. In this case, yeah, Amazon compactus, crenums, couple crenums going out in the back. It's gonna be a bushy. Let's just say we'll do a bush. We'll do a centerpiece in the middle of the 10-gallon tank. So the driftwood would be spidering out like this, fingering out. Okay, in the middle, nice Java fern bush. Okay, ixnay on the Amazon sword. We won't put an Amazon sword in this. So maybe I don't use soil in this tank. Let's do this. Let's make it easy. No soil in this tank. All right, just echo complete. They substrate that a lot of people love, a lot of people hate. Echo complete. Everything else stays the same. All right, no swords. A nice bundle of Java ferns on top of the mass of outgrowing spiderwood. We're using spiderwood here. Okay, crenums, tons of crenums coming out in the back, making it look like an octopus coming out in the back. I need boosts. Wavy boost towards the bottom and a lot of boost tied up to the spiderwood that's waving around. Mostly in towards the center still. Javawood coming out, or the spiderwood's coming out towards the tip and stuff. I'm just going to glue tons of Java moss on them. Okay, and just let that whole tank grow out. Let me think. What else can I put in here that look good? And just for the hell of it, even though I hate these guys, Dwarf Sagittaria, all around the main center of the centerpiece itself. So all around the underneath of the outcropping of the spiderwood, and that big bunch of Java fern around the tank itself. Dwarf hairgrass. No, Monte Carlo. Just different. I think it'd be patchy. It wouldn't be a carpet. It'd be patchy. Let patchy grow. We'll mix Monte Carlo maybe with some hairgrass too. And we'll see how that does. I'm not too entirely sure about that. So simple and low lighted. There you go. That's what I would do. That's something I just made up. That I would do if I just threw it in. That works. Sounds good. 30 gallons, wall stand method, 2 bags of red fluorite, and 1 bag of black fluorite. Nice. Go with that. Rinse the hell out of the fluorite, but that sounds good. Need more light? Yeah, it should be good. I don't know what kind of plant. Well, if you're going wall stat, you should be able to do fine with low to medium light. Hey, below the surface, how you doing? Yeah, I would do straight out right now a natural style aquarium. I like the natural style aquarium look. Even though I don't do that much, I think the only thing closest right now is the current tank I have, but that not even that's really natural style. But natural style looks really good with a really big tank, I think, because you want that jungle, you want the overhangs, you want the hide and seek nooks and crannies of a tank. Of a natural style tank. So, yeah. Yeah, natural style. But that's what I would do. There's other ideas. You know how I do ideas, guys? You know, sometimes... Here, okay. This is kind of funny. Hold on, let me pull this up. Here's how sometimes I come up with ideas for aquascape. See, I go for the aquascape first. And then I figure out the type of plant, tank or plants that I use or grow. And this is one way of doing it. And I don't know if you would be able to hear music here. So here's a lot of things. Sometimes when I'm making or have a plan for a video or something, I would go to one of the places that I buy my music from. I'll buy royalty music so I don't get in trouble, of course. But I plan out stuff I kind of daydream about it. Okay, so there's this one build I wanted to do, but I wasn't sure I wanted to do it yet, just because it takes so much planning to do, and so much work to do. Which was taking that 60-gallon I have that I showed you guys in the project, it's the acrylic one with the built-in back filter. I was gonna make that into a natural style, jungle style aquascape. And what it does is, and build a contraption on top where it goes up. Oh, let me get back to the solo scene here. Where it goes up and down like this. Where it goes up and down is there is a Fluvo 2.0, so I control. Was it 2.0 or the? It's one of those lights. It's just for lighting effects and not for growing the plants. It's one of the lights that's going to be stripped on top. You can control the colors, and it does lightning flashes and stuff like that. And then within this compartment, there's a compartment and then two holes that drains down into the tank itself. All right. So it pulls water up into a raining system where it rains down into the tank. And then on top of the tank, there's actually plants growing on top from the water being, cycled through the tank itself. So it's going to have like two filters, the filtration in the back and the filtration through the actual plants, a growth plants growing on the top. So it's going to have a growth plants growing on top, so there's a nice little bed of flowers as well. So when it rains, it's also, watering the plants up top, but it also gives that raining effect to what's going on. It's all gimmicky, right? And then if I turn off the lights, you could do the lightnings and stuff like that. And then the tank itself, again, natural style tank, but in the tank, right, with all the rock, nice little hills and rocks and all the crinums and the vows and the huge Java ferns, Congo tetras going around, is Excalibur, the sword. It's going to be, I don't know how I'm going to do it without and rust proofing it, but that's an idea I was thinking of it, is, in the tank. Now, I'm telling you guys this idea. I didn't know if I was ever going to do it. If I did, it was supposed to be a surprise, right? So these are one of the aquascaping ideas that I come with. It's stupid. And what I do is, I do it by looking for music for other videos. So when I'm going to videos, I came across this. Or is it this one? Hold on. You guys aren't hearing it, right? No. Yeah, I don't know how to make it into desktop devices, damn it. But I'm gonna have to download it. Why can't I hear it in the mixture? Are you guys hearing the music at all? No, I don't think so. All right. Well, actually, I can't play the music anyways. I haven't purchased yet. So I'd go and find these music, and then I would create an aquascape around it. This one here is actually an aquascape for a 5-gallon beta tank. And this one is actually dedicated to someone, which is dedicated to someone that used to watch my channel. Is one of the first people that follow my channel, so I decided to name this tank after her. And it's called Laura's Song, which I'm like letting out all my secrets, all my little things that I want to do. But yeah, I was imagining this for this aquascape. Basically a bonsai tree in the middle with tons of hair-grass, right, and a path with little bamboos coming up. I don't know how to do the bamboos yet, but bamboos coming up with a nice path in the middle that's white, right? And it's a beta tank, really, and it gives this whole ornamental feeling to that tank itself. Spanish Night, another tank I wanted to do with something similar to Mike's Aqua Pro's desert tank, but this aquascape is going to be based off of the Spanish theme. right? The Adobe kind of look to it, being in the desert kind of thing. So I come up with these aquascapes a lot by listening to music, these theme music that I come across for other videos. Like Arizona Winds, I was listening to a couple of songs and I was like, oh wow, this is so Arizona. So there's this tank I want to do. Someone's already done, which unfortunately sucks, but using a lot of reds, making the Arizona look to it. Arizona desert to it, where it's a lot of reds, a lot of petrified. Using a lot of petrified wood to do it with. What else? All these are the wargaming stuff. But yeah, I mean that's one of the secrets, is that I create aquascapes based on the music and moods that it puts me into. And I would think them up, plan them out, and then decide to put on my list of aquascapes to do. Yeah, sorry, no music, so no music on that. I didn't pay for the music anyway, so I shouldn't put it on. Thankful you can soak driftwood and sprinkle seeds on them and wait. Yeah, I never tried the seeding stuff, so I couldn't tell you on that one. But luckily, it looks like someone else does, so cool. So anyways, yeah. Thanks for the chat, guys. Any other questions? Better post them down below. We'll go for another few minutes on here, and I'll look for any questions or comments you guys might have. See if I missed anything here. No, you guys are talking about glossal grass carpet. Yeah. Oh, you have glossal. Okay, so that's where all the seeds compost coming from. Yeah, I never grew it from seeds. I'm assuming that's pretty much like how it works for every other plant out there with seeds. You plant them and they grow. I'll see you later, Martin. Good talking to you. Yeah, seeds. I don't know. I don't know. Can you do seeds underwater? I've never seen that before. I think I heard of it, but people talk about it, but I never paid attention to it. I never had much interest of using seeds for aquariums. I never looked into it. Copy seeds from Amazon? What kind of seeds? What does it say? You gotta make sure that just because you got seeds, it's not always for aquatic plant or for the aquatic hobby. I mean, yeah, you get seeds for horticulture stuff. Amazon? Do you remember what the product's called? Yeah, if you know, let me know what the product's called. I'll look it up, but let's see what I can find on it. I've never grown seeds from my tanks before. But guys, thank you for joining me. Enjoyed it thoroughly today. A lot of questions and answers. Next week, hopefully, I'll get my butt in gear and get the regular broadcast going and stuff like that. So, yeah. Again, join our Facebook group if you want to talk and discuss more about aquariums, or if you have some pressing matters that you need to figure out. We're all there for you. And thank you for joining me. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourself and stay wet with your tanks. Love you guys. Talk at you guys later. Bye.